I was working as a waitress at a small diner when the last person I ever expected to see walked in. Tim Anthony, my absolute favorite singer. He took a seat and I hurried over to serve him. "I'll take coffee and a piece of pie, please." My boss would kill me for this, but I brewed a fresh pot of coffee for Tim, despite the lateness of the hour. I studied him while it brewed and wondered why he seemed so different than I imagined. Then it dawned on me. He looked so average. Average and almost sad. "This diner's kinda dead tonight. Care to sit with me?" "I gotta warn you, Tim. I'm kind of a super fan." "Ah, I see. So you'll likely get the wrong idea from all this?" "Oh yes, definitely. I'll start dreaming of wedding bells and a ring on my finger. I might even pick out china patterns." "The danger is duly noted. My offer still stands." I sat across from Tim and waited for him to say something. Instead, he took one bite of the pie and then pushed the rest over to me. "The record label insists I keep a certain weight." "Oh, the only thing that should matter is your voice, though. Right? Fangirl, are you only into me because of my voice?" "I'd do anything to be a successful singer like you." It's really easy to say that, but it's not as nice as it seems. I can't remember the last time I got a full night's sleep. Still, I'd trade with you in a heartbeat. How many hours of sleep did you get last night? 5.5. Deal. I'd trade with you in a heartbeat, fangirl. When I woke up the next morning, I initially thought the whole encounter with Tim had been a dream, until I rolled over and felt the softest sheets I'd ever felt in my life. Immediately, I knew something was wrong. I sat up and realized I wasn't in my room. "Ah, you're awake, Master Tim. Hurry and get dressed." After the butler left, I grabbed one of the pillows from the bed and screamed into it. I was sitting there, contemplating my existence, when it dawned on me. If I'm here, where's Tim? Horrified, I threw on some clothes and ran out of the bedroom. The butler told me that the chauffeur was waiting for me, which was perfect. I hopped in the car and told him where to go, but he ignored me completely, taking me to the studio instead. "Timmy, baby, tell me you've been practicing." Did I look that unprepared? Sheesh. "I might need you to hum a few bars." The producer rolled his eyes and cued the guys in the sound booth. When the music started, I was shocked. It was one of the songs on Tim's debut record. I knew this one by heart. I sang it, and when I got done, the producer hopped out of his chair and threw his papers on the ground. "You've done it, Timmy boy. You've done it! If you keep this up, you might be able to perform live in front of a crowd. Your voice didn't crack once." "My voice cracks?" "When it's not going off key. I swear, kid, if you weren't the golden goose in terms of lyrics, I'd have dropped you like a rotten egg years ago." The producer continued on, explaining how he low-key lost hope that Tim Anthony would ever be able to tour, and I was crushed. The beautiful voice I knew and loved was seriously doctored with autotune and other high-tech studio magic. Tim, my idol, was about as real as an Oreo or a Twinkie. Afterward, the chauffeur actually asked me where I wanted to go. I grabbed the wallet the butler had thrown at me on the way out of the apartment, and sure enough, I had about as many cards as a blackjack table in Vegas. I spent the rest of the evening driving a Maserati around the Motor Speedway, all by myself. I knew I'd need to give Tim back to Tim somehow, but not before making this dream a reality. Sure enough, Tim was there waiting for me. When he saw me, he was furious. "Where the hell have you been all day?" "Your butler was really insistent that I stick to the schedule." "If you're done messing around, let's figure out how to undo this mess." "Any ideas?" "Me? How should I know? I thought you'd know since you were the one who wanted to swap lives last night. I figured you were a witch or something." "Yeah, and I work at a diner because it's a charming little hobby, idiot." I keep crying at the drop of a hat. I don't understand it. "It's hormones." "Is it always this bad?" "Basically. Sometimes are worse than others, but yeah." We decided to review the CCTV footage of the diner last night to look for clues regarding what happened. "Look, this is when we were talking about switching lives. Is she glowing?" "Yes, she's definitely glowing. I gave you exactly what you wanted. Did it give you the happiness you thought it would? Can you undo it and switch it back?" "I don't know if I'm ready, Tim." "What?" "I know it's greedy, but I want to know what it's like to tour." "You're touring?" "Yeah. Maybe I'm not ready to switch back either." "Wait, so are you saying we can trade long enough for me to tour?" "We can trade long enough for you to tour and solidify my fame. A songwriter never gets the fame they deserve. But what if we can't switch back later?" "Will you be around later? When we're ready?" "I will be near." So I ended up going on tour, and it was the most amazing experience ever. And every day, I forced myself not to think about eventually having to trade places with Tim. Enjoying yourself, aren't you? The tour isn't over yet. Yeah, the producer added more dates, and I bet you didn't complain. It'll all be over soon enough. and then you can go back to having it all, and I'll go back to having nothing at all. You have your voice, don't you? And that means what, exactly? Songwriters don't get the credit they deserve, Ella. What I do when I write songs is every bit as artistic as singing a song, but nobody will ever know my name if I don't sing. Does Desiree still come to the diner? Every night. Whenever you're ready to switch back, she'll be there. On Tim's day off, I went to the diner and found Desiree. There was one last thing I needed before I was ready to let Tim's life go. I want to be able to write songs. Can you make that happen for me? Everything has a cost. The songs you'll write if I grant this request will be empty, but will they sound good? To the ear, there will be no difference. Then I don't care if they're empty. All I want is to stand on stage and sing my own song one time. Then consider it granted. I got a call from Tim when my new album was released. It went to Desiree, didn't you? One more performance and I'm done. A deal's a deal. There's something wrong with the music, Ella. It sounds great, but it leaves me cold inside. You shouldn't perform that for anyone. It'll just be once. It's not like I'm gonna cancel now. When I sang my new songs, the screaming in the stadium got louder. It got eerily quiet. Ella, I told you the song shouldn't be sung. What in the world is wrong with everyone? You sang them a soulless song. When something is empty, it draws what it lacks to itself. What are you telling me? You stole some of their soul. Finish your set, and you'll finish them. Oh no! Is there anything we can do to fix this? Everything has a cost. I'll pay the price. If you sing a true song for them, you'll reverse the flow. The shards of soul will ruin your voice on the way back. She'll never sing again. She'll never speak again. I looked out at the lifeless crowd. I did this. My selfishness did this. Desiree, I'm ready to sing the swan song of my phony career. I brought the mic to my lips and sang one of Tim's songs. And as I sang, I imagined all the people in the stadium going back to their normal lives, living safe, happy, and well. And finally, for the first and last time, I understood why I was performing. I was performing for them, not for me. Ella, can you speak? I opened my mouth and tried, but no sound came out. I'm ready to trade back now. And what of the voice? It's her injury, but it's my body. I claim ownership of my body in whole, including the injury. Oh, you can't do that. Tim! Green light engulfed us, and when it faded away, Desiree was gone. I was back to being me, and Tim was back to being Tim. How could you do that, Tim? How could you do that? Tim pulled back and made a heart with his hands. Then he smiled. What? You did it because you love me? You jerk? That's even worse. How on earth could you love someone like me? What did I ever do to deserve your love? All I've ever done is taken from you. This actually works out great. We talk enough for the both of us. I tried to find Desiree to get Tim's voice back, but Tim reminded me that everything has a cost. Tim offered to be my composer, and together, we now knew what we wanted our music to do: to give and not take, to help and not hinder, to love while asking for nothing in return. With his incredible songwriting gift, was able to accomplish exactly that.